here.
Not too long.
My name is
About
Liliana
15
Bliss.
minutes.
So many times people ask me, what is your name or where you come from? I have to kind of pause and then tell the whole story of where I come from. But my parents originally from South Sudan.
All right.
I was born in refugee camp in Uganda. I lived in refugee camp for 15 years. And in 2005, we have the opportunity to come to U.S. When we get here, it was, let me go back a little bit. We started our process coming to U.S. in 2001. We were supposed to be here in U.S. in September of 2001. But 2 weeks before we get in a plane, we get a call that everything was shut down because of September 11. So that means we can't go anywhere or come to America. It took us 4 years later. So in 2005, we finally have the opportunity to come to US. And we get here in January. When we get here, I was wearing flip-flop, which is in Uganda, in January, it's 100 degrees. So we don't know anything about America. So coming to US, I was in a skirt with t-shirt. And when we get here in the airport, people look at us like, where did these people come from? Because definitely we're not dressed for the weather. But in that airport, something amazing happened. There was a woman who were supposed to welcome us to US, and she was African American. She was wearing a black suit and a long black hair. She walked to us, she shook my brother's hand, my mom, and then she get to me. When she come to me, I froze, and I looked at her face, and my mind went blank because I never see a woman in a black suit, and I never see a woman walking with such a confidence. Right then, right there, I said, I don't know this woman, but someday I want to be just like her.
All right.
I want to dress like her, and I want to walk like her. So coming to America, we have so many obstacles that we have to face. I remember starting learning my ABC in ninth grade, and kids were making fun of us. I remember one kid calling me monkey, and I was so heartbroken. I remember going to my English teacher, I was crying, and he said, why are you crying? I said, this kid in the other classroom called me monkey. And she said, look at me, because where I come from, we children, we're not allowed to look up into like grown up when they're talking. We can't look straight to grown up eyes. But she said, look at my eyes. So I look at her and she said, did you know that you only been in this country for 1 year, you managed to get me in your classroom? So that means you're very smart. Don't ever let anybody tell you that or call you something that you're not. Don't believe that. And I take her word with me. Living in America only for 2 years, I found myself pregnant. See, in my culture, when a girl gets pregnant, you have to marry the man whether you like it or not. So my parents, they kicked me out of the house. And I have to go to this man where we have nothing in common. I have to live in that relationship for 10 years. But there's something amazing when I was living in that relationship. I remember the woman in New York, and I remember what my teacher told me. So every time when we get in a fight, I run into the bathroom, I'll cry, I wipe my tears, and I tell myself, Lily, are beautiful and you are enough.
All right.
Every time I tell myself that. One day I said, you know what? I have enough of crying. 10 years is enough. I have to step out. And again, in our culture, it's not really common for a woman to just walk out. You know, because all the elders, they will come and try their best to fix the marriage. So I decided to just walk out relationship. When I walk out, then when we was in Iowa right now, when I walk out, I find myself with 4 boys. I have no education, no career. I have nowhere to go. Okay, I take my boys, we went to my mom's apartment. Living in my mom's 2-bedroom apartment, it was stressful and it was depressed. I find myself very depressed and I stopped taking pain medication to put me back to sleep because I was just too depressed. But even though I was living those lives, I keep listening to positive people like Les Brown, Jim Rohn, and all other wonderful speakers. And one day I told myself, you know what? I have enough of all this. I am a child of a king.
All right.
I believe I was born for more. For all that I've been through. My mom was pregnant with me when they ran from South Sudan. And I was born in refugee camp. When I was 9, I literally, I was died. I was dead pretty much, but because I always been sick because when my mom, they were fleeing from South Sudan, there was bombing and gunshot and stuff, so she exhaled all those in her lungs, and that transformed in my body. So I always been a sick child. So I remember when I was 9, I was laying down in bed. I think my mom thought I was not going to make it through the night. So I remember her asking my brother to go call my grandma because she don't think I'll make it. But here I am today. God is good.
All right.
But looking back at all those, the life that I've been through, and I say, no, I was born for more. I believe I can do way much more in life. So I started cleaning a church. That when my cleaning company was born, it's called Cleaning for Hope. Cleaning for Hope is we clean people's house or we clean offices, and if they don't want anything, they donate it to us. And I donate it back to the people who are in need of those because I was in their shoes. So now I'm speaking to you, I have 7 employees, and I published 3 books.
Wow.
And I'm in the process of writing my life journey, which is the book will come out by the end of this month, and we will do the book launch next year. But if you look through all this, through my life, what do you see in this? Sometimes we, as a human being, we focus on our past, or we focus on something that is not so important in our life. We focus on, when you're in America, people focus on black and white, you're white, I'm black, I'm this, I'm from this neighborhood. We don't really focus on why did God bring me here in this world? What am I supposed to do? What can I do? If I'm not here someday, will somebody remember my name by where I was buried and there's a stone there with my name? Or would somebody pick up my book? Or would somebody go on YouTube and play the video that I leave? Can I do that? Or should we just focus on races and all the things that we've been through? So I've been thinking about this. I'm like, if we can all take just a little bit of time and go deep and think about who we are and what we can do, we will leave the world a much better place than just focusing on ourselves. I went back to Africa this year, and I was going through my mom's village and all other villages. And when I look around, I see so many people that they are suffering, and some of them they don't have even just an up to go to the garden and dig and plant their food. And we have plenty here in the U.S. And like, if somebody can just have the idea of maybe start shipping those things back to Africa, we can make a world a much better place.
That's true.
So I'm just here today. If you remember my story, I would appreciate you. But one thing I want to leave you guys with is that I always be a person of, it doesn't matter where I live. It doesn't matter where the location I'm at. I have a heart to help people. And I always want to do the best that I can. When I'm no longer in that community, they will miss me. And that we should all be like that. We have the opportunity. You live in America. I don't know if you know how blessed you are. There's some people in Africa who they finish PhD and they can't find a job. But you're here. There's job everywhere. There's opportunity everywhere. And there's some people here to help you with your dream. Why play small? Why you want to die with all your potential? Why can you leave some? Even if you can't leave it all, just leave a little bit for the world to benefit from you. Don't die with your gift, because God did not make a mistake for you to be here.
Okay.
He sent you here for a reason. And if we can just do a little bit, we will make a world a better place.
All right.
Thank you.